Welcome to Beyond the Veil with Adina. I am Adina. You guys are Beyond the Veil with Adina. Welcome. Happy Saturday. Happy day of Saturn to all of you guys. Welcome. Please, as you enter the live, let me know how you're doing. This is not one of my typical lives. This isn't a reading. You guys are live with me at work. At my other job, at my 9 to 5 or 2711, because that's how much I have to be on the clock as a realtor. But thank you guys for joining me. Come on in if you guys don't mind keeping me company at my open house. Until a guest arrive, I won't be doing any readings in this live because I have to be prepared for someone to walk in. But I decided to just go live and show you guys what I do on my real job and let you guys keep me company, see what you guys are talking about. I don't see anyone in the live just yet, so I'll wait for you guys to join me, and I'm gonna grab my latte. Where is everybody? Well, you guys wanna... Hey, I see somebody's joining me. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Happy Saturday, everybody. Come on. Come keep me company. I keep looking to the side to see if somebody's walking up or pulling up because I am doing an open house. Hey, Nell. Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Hey, one of one. Happy Saturday. Finally, somebody comes in to keep me company. I've been talking to myself for the past 2 minutes. You guys, I'm at work. I'm at an open house. Nobody's here. I just had some people stop by as I was setting up, and they caught me off guard. And my aunt and uncle still were in the house. I was putting balloons out in the yard. People pulled up on me. So technically, it's 26 minutes into my open house, and nobody's here, so I decided to go live so I can keep you guys company and you can keep me company. How you guys doing this Saturday? What you guys up to? I'm going to show you guys around this property just in case any of you guys are looking to invest in Florida. Actually, the people who just stopped by are from New York. We have tons of New Yorkers taking over Florida, and that's perfectly fine with me. Let me be the one to help you relocate. It's really cold here in Florida. We finally met the rest of the country in cold, so get a load of my lady garments. Ooh, 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 ooh. 'Tis the look. I got my trench, my gloves, and then come through outfit, all black like the Omen. Yes, because when it's hot. Okay, hold on. What y'all said? What y'all said? Take that shit off? Okay. And a little, a little boot, a little knee-high boot. All right, that's too much for y'all. Thank you, Michael Django. I actually saw your email, but I didn't see it. I didn't look at it yet because I was setting up my open house and I noticed the notification for it. So I'll read it after I finish shooting the shits with you guys. Ooh, what you cooking for breakfast? Period. 101, period. Oh, sookie now in my granddaddy voice. All right. You guys want to see the property? All right. Let's take a look. We're in the kitchen. It needs a lot of work because this kitchen has not been touched since 1991 when this house was built. This is the kitchen. That is the living room. This is a 2-story, 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom property. This is the main living room. I got the little fake fireplace going to set the moods for the guests. And then, yes, the Green Mile. Okay, let's walk it. We have the formal dining room here. Down here, we have a door to outside and the laundry room. I don't know what's in this closet. I'm scared, but it's the closet under the stairs. And you know, the people live under the stairs. Child. Here's the downstairs bathroom, stand-up shower. Here's the office that could be used as an extra bedroom. Here's the formal family room. Because Jesus is the reason for the season. Look, this is my uncle, that's the pastor that I be telling y'all about. It's a sign that said we stand with Israel. No, it's actually down because I told him to take it down to sell the house. Look at white Jesus with all the Negroes. Jesus is the reason for the season in this house. Hallelujah. This is the day that the Lord has made. Y'all know y'all grandmas had shit like this in y'all house. All right. Woo, child. Up the stairs we go. We used to slide down these stairs and fight on these stairs and woo, child. All right. All right. Upstairs bathroom. Master suite. This house is still owner occupied, which is why it still looks lived in. I just kicked them out for showings and open houses. Master bathroom. You could tell it's old. Look at the wallpaper, the border on the top. But they got a nice spot tub, this walk-in closet. Yes, for my Uncle Suits. All right, walk-in closet. Hey, girl. And it's a shower back there. So it's really huge. The people who stopped by said, this is a whole nother house. Okay. So this house is west facing. That means the sunset sets right there. From your front yard, because this is the front yard, you can see the driveway over there. The house is west facing, not northwest, not southwest, west facing. So from your front yard, you can have a family gathering. The weather's nice here in Florida. The sun sets right here, right in front of you. All right. I ain't gonna go in all the other bedrooms because they don't matter. Okay, you guys, hold on. I'm going to have to drop the phone to walk down the stairs because I have a little phobia of walking downstairs. So I have to hold on to the rail and the wall. So excuse me. Don't fall, Dina. It's all in your head. You got this. Falling is all in your mind. Nobody's pushing you. I know it's really stupid, but it's only going downstairs. Like I feel my gravity pushing me forward. Okay, I made it. You guys, don't invite me nowhere where I have to go up high stairs. No concerts. I can't do the high seats because I can't walk up there. Bleachers, I gotta sit low to the ground. Don't expect me to do it. All right. How much for the home? $725. We're willing to negotiate, but only down to a certain point, only down to 700, because this property sits on 2.97 acres. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Yes, I said 2.97. That means almost 3 acres, but the county took 0.3 to build a sidewalk that I'll let you see. It's a 2-story brick home. You know, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Thank you, JD. So this is the house. The house sits on 1 acre of cleared land. The other 1.97 is uncleared. Y'all see my banners and stuff that I slaved to put there in this wind. Look, my flag fell. Oh shit, fuck it. This wind is winding. All right, I'll take you guys to see the back of the house. Whew. How you guys doing out there? Come buy this house from me. From me. Your neighbors, oh, look at all that space. Lots of land. We live in the horse capital of the United States. That's what they call this, the horse capital. And so across the street is somebody's farm. They're selling that too. That's $1 million for that property right there. I will drop the Zillow link to this property in the chat, Dragon Moons. That's $1 million property across the street. This is an open lot right here. This is a 7-acre lot right here. I'm trying to let the get the owners to let me sell it as a combo with this one so we can charge more, but they tripping. So back there is the rest of the 1.97, just about 2 acres. So that's 2 acres back there. It's uncleared. So you can fit another few homes back there. My house sits on less than 1/4 of an acre. And with 1/4 of an acre, they usually split that up around here and they'll put 2 houses on it, about 1,500 square feet. So you have about almost 2 acres back here. If you put a little, 1,600 square foot house on, let's say 0.17 or 0.20 of an acre, you can fit a little small development back there. Yes, that property over there is $1 million. I think they just dropped it to $995,000. But most of the properties in this area is going to go for that much and higher because it's a lot of equestrian properties around here. This one behind me next door that I just mentioned used to be a horse property. That's a farm over there. All this is farm. There are most of the multi-million-dollar homes and mansions are in this zip code. So it's a lot of land over in this zip code, and they just built the World Equestrian Center right down that street, which drove up the property value for this town, but definitely this zip code. So I'll say in 2022, when I first looked up the property value of this house, because when I got my real estate license, I looked up everybody's house in my family to see how much it was worth. I did a CMA to see how much it was worth. And I kind of let everybody know, hey, y'all house worth this much right now. And when I looked this up 1.5 years ago, or I'll say 2022, this house was about $550. You can get about $550 for this. Before I listed this house in October, I was able to price it at $750. I did drop it to $725 after 90 days. 90 days of being on the market. I dropped it down 25 grand, so it's $725 now. But this house is going to sell for anywhere between what we have it at now and $700. So Actually, like I mentioned, the family from New York just stopped by to look at it. And they mentioned their sister from New York is looking for a house this size. They want me to help them find a house. So yeah, that's bravo numbers. Absolutely. I mentioned the other day that I have multiple members in my family who are millionaires due to their assets and properties alone. So some with liquid cash, but you know, some just in assets and things like that. So I'm hot now. Let me give y'all another look at this body yaddy situation I got going on so y'all can know what a real bad bitch. Ooh! Ooh. I'm just playing. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to sell this house. I gotta do what I gotta do to sell this motherfucking house. Y'all like my serpent watch? Thank you. So what y'all doing? I didn't bring my cards because I had planned on, you know, I didn't want to get stuck in a reading and then somebody pop up. What y'all doing this Saturday? I am gonna probably hop on live when I get home and settled because I have woo to do tonight. I have woo to do tomorrow. I have woo to do on Monday. And they talking about going and having drinks again tonight. But this time my boy cousins are going, so I'm not gonna pay for nothing if I go. So I might do that. Cause I don't pay for shit when my boy cousins go out with us. The hell no, not to get in, not drinks, not hookah, not food, not nothing. Nothing. Cooking, cleaning, and sleeping. That sounds like a great Saturday. That's actually how I intended my Saturday to go this morning until my alarm went off and said open house at 12. And I said, oh shit. I'll be forgetting these open houses so quickly, because most of the time nobody stops by. Every now and then somebody will stop by. If you advertise it right, you'll get guests. I get guests when I advertise my open houses with mimosas and, you know, when I pull out the works, then I get guests. That toy drive, I got guests. Most of them came for the toys, but that was, you know, I just wanted to do a 2-in-1, but I was so surprised somebody stopped by today because it's so cold here. And I barely advertised this one because I got all that signage in the front yard. So I figured the advertisement would advertise itself. This house sits on a major state road. So it's constant traffic on this road. It's a stoplight right in front of it. So, but my sign done fell, and I hope it ain't blowing into traffic because guess where it's gonna stay? So you guys, I told myself last night that I was wrong about Don Lemon. He did get arrested, and I remember saying that he wouldn't. And then my mind started replaying the cards of his reading. I remember the Three of Swords was in his future, and that's what made me feel like he wasn't going to get arrested. The Six of Pentacles and his hopes and fears, it felt very theatrical, and it felt very much like pulling strings and not being held as accountable as others. So in light of things, I guess I can see how that Three of Swords did turn out to be a charge, because that's 3 swords and 3 people got charged. Don Lemon and the 2 ladies who organized it. However, yesterday I was thinking, something about that still doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel truthful. And in my opinion, because of the 6 of Pentacles and his hopes and fears, him hoping that the system might work in his favor or strings can be pulled in his favor, I'm going to say that even though he did get arrested and charged, he came out like Martin Luther. He came out like Martin Luther King, like, I will not stop. I will not quit. And it gave very much still to me theatrics. And I know that when the everyday person, when your cousin When your neighbor gets arrested or charged with something, the courts treat them very, 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 very different. There usually isn't any immediate release, especially without bond. You usually got to bond out. And you usually don't get a chance to come out and then be the Martin Luther King. It's almost like him getting charged was a show, and it lent to the further persecution. It lent to the fight, it lent to the persecution, and to me, it continues to lend towards a very divisive conversation. And in my opinion, because celebrities don't get the same justice system that everybody else gets. We see that time and time. We see celebrities get charged and caught up with stuff and then get slapped on the wrist, when you see the everyday person get roughed up, knucked if they bucked, and thrown in jail for, a little bit of nothing. It is, to me, a theatrics. It's a show. And if you're a part of the cast, then you won't get the same outcomes as somebody that's not a part of the cast. So my spirits told me to stand on what you saw, because even though he got charged, it's not really the same type of punishment or discipline that they give the everyday people. It wasn't even meant to be discipline. It's all a show. The new Epstein files that they released, I told you guys before, it absolutely brought more light to him. It kind of makes him a victim to the people who see him as somebody who was just standing up for journalism. And it makes him a hero. He's calling himself a good Christian. And, he won't stop. I won't quit. I shall persevere. It gives very much theatrics to me. And I still I can't get behind anything being real, anything of it being real. My cousin, shit, she got into it last week in a bar. Just got into it with a girl she got beef with. They didn't fight. They just argued, cussed each other out, might have knocked over a dish or two. And she went to jail for aggravated something, but she only spent 48 hours in there, but she had a bond, and they kept her in jail. So listen, I stand by what I said. He might have got charged, but ain't nothing gonna happen to this man. Nothing happened to him, and ain't nothing gonna happen to him. For real, for real. What do these charges do besides possibly tarnish their image? I mean, anyways. So I still see something about all of that, all about all of this celebrity theatrics and politics, that is very much a theatrics, and I can't get behind it because it's not real until it's one of us or you guys. It's like, fine, Black people, you guys want a savior? Here, try this one. Here, try this one. Here, try this. Try this one. Try this one. Anyways, anyways. Hey, Liv. Happy Saturday. I stand on it. It's a show. It's not real. And I had been feeling away because I was like, actually, because JD had mentioned to me about me stepping away from doing celebrity readings. And I did that kind of because I'm changing. And I actually kind of sat with that for the past couple of days because I was torn between where I am being pulled and then towards satisfying the audience that I've acquired. So that's why I kind of tried to dedicate certain days to certain type of readings. But to be honest, you guys, and me just being very real and vulnerable about where I am, I can't sit there anymore because I can't support you guys sitting there for too long. It just does not matter. It's such a circus, it's such a theater show, and that's the only way I can see that entire landscape in my mind. And so when I see it that way, I look away because I'm looking for where the truth is. I'm looking for where the future is taking us and the things that I feel like should matter to us. And so when I see that shit, I be like, man, move. Man, move. Because it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I know it's entertaining, but it does not matter. And if you get caught up in it, you will find yourself left behind. And I'm not a left behind kind of girl. I live in the next 10 steps ahead. So on Fridays in my Let's Chat, that's usually how I dedicate time to whatever you guys want to talk about. But I cannot sit there because it's not real. And it's gonna cause people to get left behind, being focused in a circus. When you wake up and realize that real life is happening, you find yourself like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that I've been binge watching Netflix all my life or for the past several years, and life has been lifing. And so, yes, exactly, Liv. And so I can dedicate a day or two to it, but I can't sit there, and I can't let you guys that support this channel sit there either. It's just not conducive to your greater good. And then I won't excel in life if I'm still stagnant. So that's that with that. With that being said, the Epstein files. I want to tell you guys that you're left behind on that too. That's dead. That's dead news. Dead. And anybody who's going to face real consequences, we're already on the chopping block to do so. Remember, it was going around that it was a rumor, a conspiracy that a whole bunch of politicians, business people, and elites were supposedly wearing ankle monitors. It looked like some of them were. But when that was happening, now that was the first wave of the Epstein files. Back then, that was the first wave. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It was over maybe a decade ago when I first went down a rabbit hole and saw those documents that they're making popular today. When the conversation today begun happening about, meaning in current events begun happening, I thought, well, why are they bringing this up? Why are they bringing this up? 2020 is when I believe they start charging them. That was Trump's administration, I believe. That's when they start charging them. But I saw those documents before Trump was in office. I think I saw them during the Obama administration. I went down a rabbit hole online, and back then, people were really spilling stuff online. Most of it has been clean and watered down now, but back then, before the website, the internet became so censored, that was why it became so censored, because people was getting on there really telling stuff. So back then in the early 2000s and the early 2010s, you can go online and find some real shit if you knew where to look, and if you just let yourself keep clicking and then searching and go down a rabbit hole. So that's when I first stumbled upon the Epstein files. I couldn't even tell you where I found them, but I was so deep. I was probably a click away from the dark web. And I remember being curious about that too. And not because I wanted to get involved in it, but because it was such a thing back then. They were exposing the dark web. They were exposing the browser that you use to access the dark web. I'm telling you, child. So it had to be the early 2010s when I first saw with my own eyes online Epstein files. I heard about the Epstein thing. And to me, what struck out was not the fact that all of your favorite and most popular celebrities was on there. I was 10 steps ahead of the world back then too. And when I say all of your favorites, to me though, because I expect them to be there. I expect them to be there because, not because they're the big dogs, but because they're trying to hang with the big dogs. So they do the shit that the big dogs do. So things like allegedly Jay-Z and Beyonce, Barack and Michelle, the Clintons, the Bushes, you know, celebrities that they're bringing up now, that was like, all right, fuck that. You know, they all trying to kiss ass and suck up and be on the in crowd. To me, though, were the people that I had to look up who they were. Yes. Now that was tea to me, because when I looked up who they were, I found that these are heads of societal institutions. And it made you wonder about things that are more important than the celebrities that were on there. It made you think, okay, well, if the executives or the owners or, you know, the CEOs or the founders of this, can't even call it a company, these are institutions now, systematic institution. You know, it made you wonder about the institutions that we believe in our day-to-day lives. So that to me was more important. And then right after, I saw in 2018, there were dozens of executives, top level executives, CEOs, founders who began either stepping down from companies, getting fired from companies, committing unaliving scenarios between 2018 and 2020. Dozens of them. I remember I Googled it on one of these lives and typed in how many CEOs or executives from 2018 to 2020 stepped down from companies. It was a whole list of them. So, in my opinion, as I stated the first time, Trump in his first administration was trying to drain a certain swamp. Might have been a swamp that he had stuck his toe in, and for whatever reasons, he needed to drain it. You know, you become a new king, you got to wipe out all of your stumping ground and all of the skeletons. And your Prince Andrew, absolutely. Plenty of royals, to be honest. Prince Andrew is easy because we've been hearing about him and his shenanigans for decades. So that's an easy one. But he used his first term to probably drain a swamp, and they were mad because they're like, buddy, buddy. You were party, buddy. You were at the party, buddy. What do you do? But he had to. He had to bury his own shit. Then, as soon as they got a chance to get him out, they had to strike back at him because he got all of them in trouble for shit back then. This is why the Epstein files is a thing now, because Trump used that to go after his old buddy, Habibis. You know, when you become the president and you got some dirt, you might have to clean up that dirt that you were in and make yourself look like you weren't a part of it. This is the only reason that the Epstein files is a thing now, is because it was brought up to damage Trump. But had it not ever been used by a politician, it would have stayed buried. When they start talking about it now, I was like, oh, they want the people to be mad about it now. They want the people to be aware. They want you to be aware now. They want you to be aware now. And they're only going to give you people that you would, that don't matter. The celebrities, politicians don't even matter. It's the people that, like I said, that whose names you wouldn't know them at first glance. You got to Google them and then do some research about who they are, who their families are, what companies they own, what companies the companies they own, the holding companies. Then you go back to you get back to roots and then find out connections to other entities, organizations, allegations. It's all gone, Kimmy, because that was the era that people really were able to, like I said, people were going online and whistleblowing shit. Now, ain't no real whistleblowing. People thinking that TikTok ever gave legit, laughable, laughable, laughable. TikTok was given to y'all in 2020, and it's had a chokehold on everybody since then. Controlled opposition, all kind of stuff. Child, the things that they telling y'all about now are the things that they let you know, but they are so old and don't matter. They just don't matter. And because we're in a time now where this stuff that we're fighting about now, we should have been fighting about decades ago. So now that we're fighting about it now, it doesn't even matter to fight about it now because they're past that. It was brought up to tie Trump to it. Now they can't take Trump down with it, so they'll just use it against everybody else who they have an agenda against right now. You see, they just posted that Jay-Z was on there. So, but they can't do nothing. You can't do anything with it now. You just can't. So if they tell you about it now, it's because it's useless. It's only useful to keep you in a frenzy about something that they focus on new issues that you still aren't privy to. Mm-hmm. And those issues are you. The issues are you, the human being, in the age of Aquarius, in the age of evolution, where, like it or not, humanity would go through an evolution. Didn't mean that everybody would be woke, for real, the lamb, the elect, but everybody would evolve. So that's why now everybody is so woke. But even then, to feed the inevitable evolution of mankind, since they are going to be woke one day, let's feed them. Let's feed them woke stuff. Let's feed them something to feed that spiritual need for awakening. Let's give it to them. It's still controlled. Still controlled. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 At this point, we should be focused inward because that's where the rapture is taking place, on the inside of people, on the inside of, go back and read your question, Dark. No, I'm not going to read that. My thoughts about Jesus don't matter. Your thoughts about Jesus matter. Nobody else's thoughts about Jesus matter but yours. Anyways, child. That's what I'm doing here, Dark, spreading the good news. Anyways, I went ahead and got rid of them, guys. Don't worry. All right. Those were two things that I had on my spirit, actually, the Don Lemon and the Epstein files, because I'm just like, well, at least my audience won't be caught up in that nonsense. If you're distracted about what they're doing, then you can't hear what spirit is telling you. And the movement is happening within, in the temple of man. And so you have to be tuned in and tapped into yourself, cutting out a whole bunch of the distractions so that you can hear. So that you can hear. You won't hear the good news being spread. You won't hear the gospel being spread outwardly anymore unless you're tuned into a bitch like me. Not saying just me, but people like me. You got to be tuned in. And that's if you're not tuned into yourself. You know, some people don't know how to tune into themselves, so they need to tap into somebody else to, you know, help them be able to tune in to themselves. But then you'll know. Then you'll know. But you got to unplug so that you don't have to constantly be fighting against what you feel like you hear in your own mind versus what you see or being told. That's how you get trapped in the matrix in somebody else's reality that they set for you. I walk around like I'm a motherfucking goddess, and nobody on this earth can tell me otherwise. And that's not play. I do think I'm a reincarnate version of some ancient goddess. I even know who it is. And whether I'm crazy or not, nobody can tell me different. And I live an abundant life on my terms. I'm God enough to exile you from this reality which I created. How am I not? With that being said, as we all have the ability to create our own reality and not be a victim or a extra in somebody else's, that's what a God does. It creates a world for itself to exist in. Anyways, since the trolls are here, y'all want to see how cute I am again? Y'all want to see my boots? Y'all want to see my boots? My guys. Yes, Lady Eloise. My guys. Hold on, let me. Because what? Got the boots and the fur. Not the boots with the fur, but the boots and the fur. Come through. Yes, OJ glove that fits. Ooh, yes, Liv, hold on. Because you ain't see me with my trench. This is just the dress, but hold on. I'm playing dress up for you one more time. And the gym body, because look at that. Look at that. Y'all don't see no stomach, just, and boongy. Boongy. Yes, child. Anyways, hold on, Liv. Yes, I got, hold on, because I'm a girl. I'm a Libra, so we play dress up. Okay. It's giving realtor. It's giving realtor. Okay, I am giving, I will sell your house right now. Hold on, because I got to give y'all the full look of the day, honey. It's giving realtor, okay? And I always said, I'll never take one of these photos. I'll never take you know them realtor photos. Never. Never take one of these. Never, ever. Yes, I thought I just, for the people who just came in. What? I'm sorry, something about these gloves make me feel real. What? What you said, bitch? What? Something about these gloves just make me, what? Should show. Illuminator in here talking about hairline. What? Should show. Let me swipe your ass on out of here. Jezebel, why is the trolls trolling me today? Because I told the people about the lies and the fallacies and the shit show and the shenanigans. Y'all just mad because y'all want people all hyped up in the streets getting shot down and unalived by ICE. And I'm telling y'all that it's all a circus. And they want y'all, the trolls is in here because they want y'all hyped up, riled up, protesting so they could do. That's what they want to do. I told y'all. Remember I told y'all that they was going to be unaliving people, that they had got to order to unalive people, and then they unalived that man? That happened after I told y'all that Ten of Wands. That Ten of Swords. I told y'all when I read Ice Ice. The same day I did Don Lemon. I told y'all. And what they did. I told y'all. What did I tell y'all? Walk light. I said it several times. Y'all walk light. Seven of Swords. I explained the story of the Seven of Swords and the betrayal of one's own people. Then I saw the Ten of Swords in the current advice position. I said, oh. And then they did it. That's why they ain't here trolling me. Because I don't mind telling people, stay out them streets. You're not going to get your justice. Protesting and getting riled up. Look at y'all. They done arrested Don Lemon and they got people all right. This is unfair. He's a journalist. What about the rights? You got the Christians. What about the Christians? What about our rights? You got everybody. You got black people, brown people, white people. Now they got everybody riled up. Eventually, with everybody riled up, you know what's going to happen? Shit's going to blow. Shit's going to pop off. I'm telling y'all, take a deep breath. Of course I'm a witch. She's a this, she's a lover, she's a god, she's another, she's a sinner, I'm a saint. I do not feel the same. She's a bitch, she's a lover, she's a god, she's a mother, she's a sinner, I'm a saint. That's Alanis Morissette. Of course, I'm those things that you call me. Like I was saying, they didn't think that I was going to accept it. Calling me names. I said, I'm a what? Gladly. Speaking of Alanis Morissette, to the trolls, I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I absolutely live. That's why I accepted it. Want nothing but the best for you hoes. Another version of me, not in these YouTube streets. Well, I'm here to remind you. They gonna get sick of trolling me as long as Alanis Morissette lives and her music lives on. Which did historically mean wise woman, and so did bitch. Priestess of Sirius, the dog star. Isis. Oh, you have to know a little bit about your constellations to know a thing about that. So I accept both interchangeably, witch, bitch, all of those things. Anyways, they get mad and troll me, not when I'm talking about celebrity stuff, but when I'm talking about stuff that matters. With my cards, without my cards, with me telling you guys to stay out. Everybody's fighting now so that everybody who has any cause can be riled up. It's no longer useful just trying to rile up one group of people. Can't do it with the blacks because they so tired. It's harder for us to trigger them. They tired. They might get mad for a day or two, but they just gonna two-step and what's the line dance that we do now? The cowboy line dance. We're going to dance the pain away. We are literally going to disassociate. We just disassociate. The trauma hits us, and then we start dancing. We turn the music on. Yeah, yeah, we just turn the music on, and then we be all right. So it ain't easy anymore to just rile up the blacks. Let's rile up the Mexicans, because we know that the blacks, if they don't fight for themselves, they're gonna fight for somebody else. And when they fight, people get behind them. So we need them to fight so that everybody else can be ready to fight, and then we can fight them. No, which isn't supposed to be derogatory. I don't mind when people call me that. It's a compliment nowadays. I feel like they finally see me. I feel seen. So now we can stop pretending like I'm normal. It's over, I guess. Woo! So glad now I can take that stupid muggle mask off. If it's no longer hiding my true nature anymore, then thanks. Now I can be comfortable in all my glory. Anyways. Yeah, so they tried it with the Mexicans, and they was like, God damn it. It's the whites that are more mad. All right. So then they shot that white woman. Then they shot a nurse, a brown nurse. And then, now everybody can be mad. And if we don't have the blacks, we can ignite a flame underneath everybody, and then the blacks will feel left out and want to integrate, because they hate being left out of shit too. They hate being separated. Even if it's separated in chaos and tribulation, if they see everybody else suffering, well, hold on there, God damn it. You guys aren't going to suffer without us leading the suffering. Tag us in. That's where I draw the goddamn line. One of y'all people tried to kill me just now, but it didn't work. Latte almost went down the wrong pipe and took the goddess out, but no weapon, including the weapon that I'm drinking, shall form against me and prosper. Hell no. Who tried to take me out just now? One of y'all trolls? So anyways, stay in the house. Walk light. I told y'all walk light, and then they said, well, people are already walking light, so let's give them a reason to step. I don't think it's working, though. People still ain't stepping the way they want y'all to. They need y'all in the streets en masse so they can do y'all like Iraq. Or was it Iran? Iran? You know what Iran did to their protesters? How many of them was unalived? Thousands? Ooh, child. So that's another reason I can't get behind the whole Don Lemon theatric show. And I'm still surprised that it even was announced that he was charged with anything. We didn't see him getting handcuffed, did they? They say he was doing a Grammy event. I didn't see it because I don't keep up with that shit, but they can say whatever they want. That man is out. He ain't have no bail, and now he's a freedom fighter. Yes, Iran live. Yeah, that's what they want y'all to do. That's what they need y'all to do. And they just trying every little thing. Every little thing. And y'all just ain't going. The United States citizens that aren't black have learned to do what the black people do. Just dance. They be trying to learn our line dances now, listening to our music. They have found our method of escape. So now they trying to step with us. They trying to boogie on down to the juke joint too. And they found that it worked. That's why the American citizens ain't out in the streets like that, because black people done turned on some music and the white people turned it on too. I've been seeing more white people doing seafood boils than I ever seen in my life. Just unseasoned and all, but A for effort. A for effort. I said, when white people start doing seafood boils with the shit in the bags and they, sucking juice and stuff all off their fingers. When they start doing that? And I ain't talking about the Louisiana whites. I'm talking about the red lobsters. They be doing, child, just on YouTube and TikTok looking at the blacks and then, hey, let's just, I said, look at there. Look at there. They done found their way to the cookout. Y'all done invite them and now they in charge of the seafood boils? Child. That's why I never eat you Negroes cooking anymore. Because y'all invite too many people to the cookout, which lets me know y'all ain't concerned about the food. That's why I cook. Because I don't even trust you Negroes cooking no more. Y'all don't even know how to cook no more. Mm-mm. I said, look at all of that unseasoned eggs, sausage, and corn. Mm-mm-mm. Child. It's a modern day Black Panther stunt. I didn't know a thing about that. Kimmy, modern day Black Panther stunt, child. They done got rid of the real revolutionaries of that movement. No. Yes, Liv. I love you because you always gets it. And I love anybody who feeds my mind, and you did. You did. You sent me that material, and I've just been reading. I've been salivating and eating it. I'm talking about eating it, cutting it in tiny pieces, and looking at it on my fork before I just. It's just that is the way to my heart. It is. You have wooed me. You have found the way to my heart. It is my mind. I think about you every time I read. I think about you every day now because I read it every day. And I just, hmm, 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 hmm. Doot, doot. Absolutely. So, what is this new Panther movement that they said? The Black Panther pop up, but no one cared. It looked, child. This is as close to the Black Panther Party revitalized as we gonna get right here on Beyond the Veil. Okay, we is the closest thing to a revitalized Black Panther Party. And I'm sorry, but the next real revolution, it's gonna be a woman. Revolutions are always born through women. However, she probably won't get the credit for it. From her own people, though. What is my plan of action? Let's start by getting you up out of here. I don't fight for you Negroes. You a whole man talking about what is my plan of action? Get your simp ass out of here. You ain't even worthy to talk to me. How dare you come and ask me what my plan of action is as a grown ass man in my YouTube chat? If anything, you should have greeted me and said, this is what we are doing out here. Don't ask me what I'm doing. Tell me what you're doing. How How dare you ask the house what it brings to the table? Simp ass. I can't stand you, simps. And I don't even degrade men like that, but you are the type that I do not like. What is your plan of action? That just, it just turned me off all the way. Ugh, I'm disgusted. Ugh, ugh, yuck. You want to show me what weakness in a man looks like? Ask me what I'm doing to lead. You supposed to tell me what you doing so I can join your movement and make it better. But if you must, you know what the fuck I'm doing. You sitting here on my live, listening to this whole conversation. My job is to tell you guys what's happening behind the scenes, things that are happening in the ethers, or things that normal people can't see with their two eyes. And your job is to take that information and act accordingly. I'm just gonna be single forever. I just ain't gonna never. I ain't gonna never have sex no more or nothing, cause these the. I just, you just made my whole inside dry. I ain't even talking about my lady parts. I'm dehydrated now. You just soaked up all the water out of my body. I'm just a raisin at this point, a prune. Oh, how discouraging. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to work through this because y'all don't know how much that really, really, really disgusted me. Not annoyed me, disgusted me. What's your plan at? Just those few words showed so much about that man, boy. Ugh. We supposed to be doing a Venus ceremony next Friday. Fingers crossed. Because I can bring the boys and the ladies to the yard, but I can't make them worthy. I can't make them worthy. That is the dilemma. I'll read your comment about the Black Panther party. Well, I've been married, so I can't say single forever. I spent my whole 20s married. I became single in my 30s. It's only been about 6 years that I've been single, but looking out in the future, it looks barren and bleak. I see desert lands in my future and dried lady parts, which is fine. It's better than that. Dry is better than some of yous men. My God. Just think of how much a woman enjoys getting her legs thrown to the moon. And we is rathering to go dry rather than even have a moment of pleasure with some of yous. Think about that. My God. Let me read what Kimmy said and get that taste of disgust out of my mouth that not even my latte can cleanse. Read the comment above about the Black Panther controversy. All right, Kimmy, I'm reading. That modern day Black Panther stunt was another tactic. Is that what you were saying? I saw you say something about some pop-up they've had. It's okay, Justin. I'm in there with you. And in this upcoming Venus ceremony, I'm approaching it like, spirits, listen. I know the pickings. I don't even know if we can call them pickings, but bring us what you got. Bring us the potential. At this point, bring us the potential, the best of what you got, and we'll work with all two of them. When it brings you something, enjoy it. Don't walk into every situation thinking, oh, I met somebody after the ceremony. This must be the one. Don't do that. Don't do that. We do not conjure love. We conjure the materials, and then love is created by the two people. We conjure the material because I don't seek to control anyone's heart. I don't charge enough to do that because then I would have to conjure up the love. I'd have to make you guys fall in love with each other, but then I have to employ more methods to make sure that you guys stay passionate about each other. That even after that emotion that I conjured up to make you guys fall in love with each other, that y'all are able to find something real to stay in love with. Otherwise, when that energy that we conjured up to get you guys into that honeymoon phase and engaged and married dies down, which it will, something else has to be there that wasn't conjured. It has to be there because emotions go up and down. So when you guys are down and you're looking at each other, not in your most emotional time, something else has to be there to make you guys stay. Otherwise, you're going to wake up when that shit wears off and then realize that you're living with someone that you hate, you don't even like, but now you guys are stuck. So there's a reparation fee if you guys want me to force you with someone because of all the things, the safeguards that I would need to put into place to make sure that 10 years down the line, you guys don't unalive each other, as it seems to happen often when people force bind each other together like that. I don't get paid enough. You guys have to pay me a grievance fee for that because down the line, when that shit wears off, but you guys were just so wrapped up in that one person and that you got them and y'all were able to live 10 years together, but then they went through a personal evolution and realized that they hated your guts, but now you guys are bound together through magic and blood, and then you guys hate each other, and then you guys are miserable and doing something crazy. I gotta live with that. So you gotta pay me. And I still might not ever do it. Potential with purpose is what I'm conjuring, and I'm not just looking for anybody's potential. Anybody can have potential for something or someone. But potential means if you mess it up, you guys just weren't equally, you two weren't in alignment with each other, or you're the problem. Shit. The kind of potential I want, you got to mess it up, or if it doesn't work, it's because you guys knew that you both were good people, just maybe not for each other. Like if you meet someone and they're getting ready to move into a country where you met, but you're getting ready to move out, that might not, you know, be a bad person, unequally yoked. That's fair, Justin. You sound like you're not in your 20s. Somebody in their 30s or older would probably say something like that. I don't want to move in together with someone. Let's fall in love, but have our own places. I understand that because I require a lot of privacy. I'm a spiritualist, a professional one. So I do a lot of rituals. I spend a lot of alone time in my spirit room, in my working space, in my altars and meditation and ritual and ceremony. And I need that. And I would have to have a man who's okay. If we live together, that's fine, but I have to have my own space detached from the house. I ain't talking about just a room, like a detached space, a workspace for me and my spirits. Thank you, Justin. I don't typically like to do my woo with anyone around me because I don't like all that extra energy. I don't want to go through the process of cleansing and prepping you to be in the presence of the gods. And somebody used to do that. Actually, Natasha, my ex-friend, who tried to energy swap with me, and she kind of destiny swapped with me, and she kind of almost did, but I pivoted. I let her keep the version of me that she wanted. I just shed it and just shifted into another one, and she can never keep up. Do y'all see this shit? Listen. She could never keep up. But she used to, I would do rituals for her, and I would do them on site because she lived here. So anybody local, I do ceremonies in person. And some rituals I would do with her, and then I would go off into like a room in her house to conjure. I do my conjuring of the spirits alone because I'm the priestess. So I call them alone, and she would creep in there while I'm sitting there with my eyes closed. I could feel the energy shift. So I look up, and she's sitting there with her arms outstretched like a Christian. You know how they used to outstretch their hands in prayer to you? Arms outstretched, praying to Jesus and all this other stuff. And I would get the fuck out. And it used to annoy me because she always wanted to be in the mix. She used to want to be, she said she wanted to be like me, but she wanted me to teach her the things. And I said, I'm not here to initiate you. I don't initiate anyone. And if spirit wanted you to know, you would know these things before I met you. Because she had other people she was dealing with that were spiritualists, but they didn't live close to her. So she wanted to know the things. She used to say stuff like, and if this person puts me off, I'm going to put their ass in a jar. And I used to think, Natasha, you don't know how to jar anyone. You don't know about any of the shit that you're talking about. And you only want to do the things to hurt people. She would only be like, oh, I want to hex this person whenever somebody pissed her off. And I thought, this is why you'll never know the things, because you're not supposed to walk this path with the spirits. You just want to whack people. And she was a Scorpio, and you know Scorpios can be very vengeful. So nobody should have somebody like her doing that shit, because she was weird. Yep, art can't take everybody with you. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been separated for so long, I haven't thought about what it would be like to live with a man again, but I think I would ease back into it. I'm very good in both natures, so I'm very comfortable as a single woman, even though that came with time, because I was 19 when I got with my husband, and then I was 31 when we separated. So to be honest, these past several years have been me learning myself as an individual and as a woman. I never lived alone because I went straight from my mother's house to college to my ex. And then we were together from 19 to 31, living together and all of that. So I can't even really trip the way I do about how long I've been single, because to be honest, this is me getting to know myself as an adult. I went straight from as a teenager, a child teenager, into being a wife. And so I guess this is okay. And I have learned that I'm really good. I already knew I was a really good wife, Really, really good. I'm really good as a wife, very nurturing, all that stuff. And I actually thought that was my identity. So being divorced was an identity crisis for me because going from a girl into a woman, I had only experienced being a wife. So I knew how to be that. I knew how to be a wife. I didn't know how to be a grown Adina, just Adina. So because I'm a Libra, I'm naturally a relationship girl. And I'm very nurturing and warm. I have a high sex drive. I like to cook. I like to cuddle. So I actually still probably would do good in a relationship. And I actually wouldn't mind living with someone again. The only thing I would do different this time is I would require my space, and it needs to be a detached space. For one, because of my spiritual workings, I don't necessarily want to go through the whole process of having to cleanse my house every time I do a certain type of work. There's a certain type of work that I just don't want to do in my house. It gets very messy. So I need detached space where I can go, my own little temple where I can go and be closed off. And I believe at this age, a man would appreciate that because men like their space too, especially at the age that I am. I'm 30, I'll be 39 this year. So men my age aren't clingy. They like their space too. And that's fine because I'm not a clingy girl either. And then I would like to come back in the house and it be warm. It's smelling like food and music. And I have on, I'm scantily clad all the time at home. I don't believe in clothes. Even as a single girl, I still wear lingerie and robes around the house. I do that for me. But, I like that. I like to, create a very, a vibe in a home. I like the way it makes a person, a significant other, feel when they are able to walk into the house and instantly there's a feeling there, an atmosphere there. There's music going, they smell food, the house smells good. I look good. I'm there to greet them. I like that shit. I guess that's my Taurus ascendant. So I like that shit, dude. I like that shit too. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind living with someone again. I would just need my own space for my spirituality, and I would need their respect and understanding that I am a priestess first before I am your significant other. I think I couldn't have had that with Andrew because he wasn't healthy. But if he was as healthy as he put on, we could have had that. Um, he just had so much trauma, and he was a very vindictive Scorpio. So, Kimmy, I didn't see your other comment about the Black Panther situation. What was it? Welcome, LaShawn. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the comments. You attract a lot of toxic water signs, especially Cancer. I just noticed that. I do too. My ex husband, the person I married, was a Gemini. Ironically, you guys, the seventh house is the house of marriage and partnership. I have Gemini and Pluto in my seventh house. My ex husband was a Gemini, and the last person who I was involved with, who I wasn't married to, but we had a business partnership contract and we were intimate with each other. So technically, we did have a partnership contract that was legally binding and we had intimacy. So my ex husband was a Gemini, and that person was a Scorpio. So the two people that technically I was legally bound to in a relationship with, Mercury and Pluto. And those are the two signs I have in my seventh house of partnership. And my seventh house is in Scorpio. So those were very karmic situations. I don't just partner to partner, there's always something. Now, hopefully, since I got those two out of the way, any other partnership that I have will not be so karmic because I've learned the things that I needed to learn and experience from them. Divorce. Divorced both of them. Breach of contract from the second one, which he did. So I had to sue him. Him and Natasha. The one I was intimate with and my best friend. Both Scorpios. All three of us in a contract. They breached, broke my heart. And I had to sue. And it's beef forever with me. It's not even beef because my lick back is forever. If I'll spend the rest of my life trying to. Okay, anyways. But, and then my ex-husband, divorce. So, God, that's what the seventh house in Pluto looks like. Especially if you have planets there, you're going to have to go through it. But I have a stellium in Libra. So my problem is I know how to partner very well. I know how to partner. I know how to compromise even to my detriment. And I grew up doing that, which is the South Node, a part of my stellium in Libra. Growing up, people pleasing, avoiding conflict, and partnering. My people pleasing and avoidance and conflict came when I wanted to keep a relationship that might not have been meant to be kept, but I wanted to keep it. So the compromise came with myself. The people pleasing came with myself. I had to be a version of myself that people would be pleased with so that they wouldn't abandon me. And the avoidance of conflict, it wasn't that I was afraid to fight. I was afraid to be myself because I knew that I felt so strong. My thoughts were so assertive and strong spiritually. I grew up very spiritually different from my family in a very spiritual and religious upbringing. So I learned how to hide the fact that I was like Harry Potter at the Church of God of Christ because I didn't want to be alienated from my family. And I had a very cult like family. If you weren't Christian like everybody else and as Christian as everybody else, you were a black sheep. And I didn't want to be that because of my childhood trauma. So I tried to hide it, but what it came out as, it was never hidden. It just made me look weird. It made me look weird to everybody because they could see one nature in me, but I was doing my best as a child to hide it. So what it came across as them as was weird. It was always, Dina's weird. And then I thought I was hiding it, but they was like, Dina's a witch. Grandma, granddad, Dina being weird, doing witch stuff. So it came out no matter what. And I learned how to try to do everything I could to make people like me. And so I needed to experience rejection in my adult relationships that I couldn't control. My business partners, the ones who breached contract, they breached our contract behind my back. They went behind my back, conspired to isolate me out of the business, but they were dumb. And so they made themselves liable. They made themselves liable doing it. My ex-husband, he woke up, I told y'all, he woke up one day and was like, I think I need to find myself. I don't know if I want to be married anymore. I just need to find myself. After 13 years. And so that I kind of took better, honestly, than my two business partners because shit, we've been together for 13 years, our entire 20s. So I kind of got it. So I needed to go through that though. I needed the rejection. I needed the depression that it brought me to sit in there. I needed that. I needed to go through the phase of trying to figure out why these people could walk away from such a bad bitch. I had to look at everything I did as a wife and figure out why I wasn't good enough. I had to experience my in-laws saying, I don't know what my brother did, but don't listen to him. You need to come back. I don't know what he's going through, but he crazy. Don't listen to him. He'll be all right in a couple days. And he was. He snapped right out of it. But I needed that. I needed for my ex-husband to say, you did nothing wrong. And I regret that. And I want you to come back. I needed for that to still not register, for me to still blame myself and think I wasn't worthy. Because at the end of the day, that was the root. I needed to see that I felt like I was unworthy. It wasn't anybody else. It was me. Unworthy of me. I didn't think I was worthy. And then I remembered as a child all the ways that I tiptoed around myself in order to make other people complacent when they were actually harmful. They were toxic. I had to learn that I will try to harm myself to hold on to toxic relationships because that's all I know. Because my family was toxic. And it was not okay to be you. It wasn't okay for me to be me. It wasn't okay for other family members who didn't fit into that line to be them either. And that's how I learned it wasn't okay for me to be me. My parents, my mother, she was conditional. Her nurturing was conditional. To this day, if we get into it, she might say something to hurt me just because it will hurt me and she needs to win. And it's just because she might feel like she's not as smart as me. That's something that she struggled with my dad, because everybody sees him as extremely smart, weird smart, like genius smart, so much that he's weird. And even though she chose him, she felt inferior to him because he was so brilliant. And it made her feel like she wasn't, because she just barely graduated. She wasn't thinking about school and education. She was there for the drugs and the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And so even though she chose my father, she felt very much intimidated by his smarts. I have a lot of that from him. And so, God forbid now we bump heads on something and I out mental her and she can't keep up mentally, then she's just gonna go for the core because she can. She's my mom. So she knows what's going to hurt me and she will do it. She will do it. She will choose to if she feels like she can't keep up in a mental debate. Now, I grew up with that, not being able to understand that's what she was doing. And so I grew up with all kind of trauma, not being able to see myself as smart as I knew I was. Now I'm second guessing even my thoughts, even my intelligence, even my own inner voice. I'm second guessing my core. Not even allowed to be me. Because if I display something that intimidates my mother, and mind you, as a child, I don't know what I'm dealing with. All I know is what is being taught and what I'm experiencing. So I'm learning how to walk on eggshells around my mother. And the only way that I can do that is to hide myself. Because I don't know what's going to trigger her. But it turns out being me does that. Being me does that. So I needed to be gaslit by my ex-husband. I needed for when he gets mad at me and when I outmaneuver him mentally, not saying that I will argue because I'm not a yelling girl, but I'm very smart. So I'm just going to say something, and it might be something that should neutralize the situation. But I've triggered this person's emotions with how unemotional and rational I'm being. So an emotionally immature person or somebody that's not emotionally intelligent, they're going to hit you where it hurts. I married my mother. And my husband, she's an Aquarius, I married a Gemini, and I'm a Libra. So he would say things to hurt me. See, that your own family don't even like you. You know how many of your cousins call me to talk about you? Your own mama don't like you. Your own family don't even like you. Yeah, they always be said, they talk about it to me all the time. Because that would hurt me. And because I might think it's true. Shit, depending on which one of my family members you're talking about, I wouldn't put it past them to talk negatively about me to my husband. My mama, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I could see that. So, and then, when the cracks in our marriage started, and I would say, listen, because I'm also a spiritual girl, I got vision. So I would say, listen, based on where we are now, this feels different. This doesn't feel like any place we've been in before. And I'm afraid that a year or two from now, we might be in a very fractured place that we can't come back from. So can we address this energy that's going on? Man, here you go again, tripping. Hey, man, see, here you going again being crazy. You just need some friends or something. You need something to do. All you do is be with me anyways. You need something to do. You need some hobbies. Mind you, just started a business. You need some hobbies or something. All you do is think about me and us and this marriage. God damn. So now I'm like, well, I'm not clingy, but I just started a business. I got friends. Instead of thinking, bitch, you tried it. Now I'm like, well, damn. All right, so maybe I am tripping. So I just fall back. But shit getting worse between us. He ain't coming home and all kinds of shit. And now, since he keep telling me he's gaslighting and telling me that I'm tripping, and I believe it. Now I'm depressed because I don't know what else to do. I'm doing everything I can. Now I'm depressed because now I'm a failure. Unworthy. Something about me just isn't good enough because I'm doing everything I can and it's still not enough. My husband is telling me that it's just me. I'm tripping. But I know something ain't right. So yes, I fell for that because of the environment I grew up in. My father, he went to prison for 20 years. So there was the first rejection and left me with a bitter mother who had a daughter who displayed all the things that she probably resented in the man that she chose. So yes, all the things that my mother chose my father for, my sisters probably got those qualities. I got everything that she didn't like about him. And so there was the enmity, and I was her firstborn. My father told me my mother didn't want no girls, and she had three. She wanted boys. No boys, but three girls, and she wanted boys. And I was the first. So she went from dreaming of a boy to having me. And she's an Aquarius. So they're already not the most nurturing, but if she's a little bit resentful or bitter, she might not be able to see that. But it actually is seen. It shows. Not to her, but it shows. So I actually needed that divorce and that break of partnership so that I can go back to the root of my unworthiness and my willingness to compromise myself when it comes to relationships, because growing up, I did a lot of self-sacrificing in order to gain the love of people that I should have naturally got it from. And it was conditional. It was performative. And my father, he wasn't able to give it. And then when he got out after 20 years, he was too traumatized. So I understood that Pluto, seventh house, and having Mercury and Pluto there, and my two experiences with divorce so to speak, were within a Scorpio and Gemini's. And then I haven't, you know, I've been single since my divorce, except for my marriage with Andrew and Natasha, my business partners, and they were my best friends. So I suppose I didn't learn everything with my divorce, which is where Andrew and Natasha were able to come around and break me all the way open. They hurt me worse than my divorce did. Really, truly, because that was betrayal. And I ain't never been betrayed like that in my life, ever. So they're going to have to pay that back for forever until I see them fully repaid. But I needed that because the version that I am today, you can't fuck with me. You can't fuck with me. And it's why I have been single for so long. And I gained a reputation of turning people down. Everybody tells me to stop turning people down and maybe you'll date more. But why would I just go on a bunch of frivolous dates when I can see off rip that we don't even have the foundation for us to build something on. So why would I waste either of our time? Now I do value myself. So it's hard to date now. Because can't nobody play on my top. And now it's like, after it all, after I've had to put a price on myself, and y'all can't afford that. Can't nobody afford that. I ain't met nobody that can afford what I'm worth. I've seen myself in marriage. I've seen myself in friendships and business partnerships and friends with benefits. And niggas will fumble that. How do you fumble a friends with benefit business partnership with a bad bitch? Somebody that you solicited because you knew that they were successful in business. I ain't even want nothing from you but the D. The D. How you fumble that? Because you start catching feelings, but you got trauma surrounding marriage and relationships. So now you in love, but you don't want to be in love because you feel like I got power over you because I'm not in love. So now you're afraid. You're scared, Scorpio, because you're in love. I'm not. Not that tender, though. He probably thought I was because I can come off as a real tender girl. Even if I'm not, I come across that way because I'm very nurturing. I'm very sensual. I'm very, oh, whatever you like. But that's just me. That don't mean I'm in love with you. That just means I treat people well. People get used to that. They fall in love. But if you are a Scorpio carrying love trauma and you find yourself in love when you don't want to be, that's a scary place to be, especially for a Scorpio, especially when there's good sex involved. Because you want to make a Scorpio fall in love, you have to sleep with them. That's the way to their heart. Yeah. Yes, you can get love from sex with a Scorpio. And that's what happened. And I cut the sex off. I did. And I probably bruised his ego because I said we can't have sex anymore because I think that you're letting your emotions get in the way of business. So I hit him with a very masculine energy. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was trying to uh, maintain the integrity of our business partnership. And I can see him expecting me to kind of handle him the way a lover would handle their lover and overlook issues in business. So when I said, all right, how about this? So that things don't get any messier, let's just cut out the sex. It was literally 2 weeks to that day that they conspired to cut me out of the business. And I know he went to Natasha and got her thirsty ass to do it. And so that was his way of hurting me. And this was something that he had just done to his ex, who was also a business partner. So he would seek out very powerful, smart, bossy women. That's what he was attracted to. But when he couldn't control them or when they bruised his ego, then he would try to hurt them by either kicking them out of the business or literally stealing it from them, especially if there was another partner involved. Then he'd try to go to the partner and get them to side with him to kick the female out. And Andrew had just did this prior to my situation. He was just actually doing it when we became business partners. He was dating the girl. They were in business together. They broke up. He wanted to kick her out of the business, but his other business partner valued her, so he wouldn't do it. So he ended up not being friends with the other business partner who was his friend of 20 years because he wouldn't agree with him to spite the girl. So that's how he ended up circling the block and then getting Natasha to do the same thing with me. Natasha was my best friend, but her thirsty ass had a crush on him. And even though he would never be interested in her, she gonna side with who she feels like got all the juice. And they're both Scorpios. So she feels like, I'll side with him and not my best friend of the past 2 years. And so he went to her and did the same thing, but she agreed. And now they both have to pay. The first time he did it, that was a karmic lesson for him. And he even asked me to hex this girl. So he know I do woo and he know I do it good because he asked me to hex that girl. And I said, you should be ashamed of yourself. I would never. If anything, I'll do something to help you heal. You need healing. That girl didn't do nothing to you. You had been planning on breaking up with her so that you could deal with me because you knew I wasn't going to deal with you when you had someone. So he literally broke up with her in time, in time for us to meet up and celebrate our partnership because Natasha and I got a hotel room in his town. And so he knew he needed to break up with that girl before that weekend when we celebrated our partnership. So he hurried up and broke up with her and then tried to kick her out of the business because she was hurt and he didn't want to have to still do business with someone that he knew he was being trifling with, especially if he was going to be gallivanting around with me. So he needed to completely remove her out of the picture. And he also asked me to curse her. I said, you are a piece of work. Not only did he try to kick her out of the business, but the other business partner wouldn't go for it. And he lost that friendship because of that. But then you wanted me to hex her? I said, you need some healing. Now, I was the fool for letting that man in my vagina, but the agreement was from him, let's just be, business partners with benefits. That's what he wanted. And I said, all right, I ain't had none in 2 years. I deserve this. I did a reading to see if he had the equipment. Because, yes, I'm going to pull cards. Before we hook up, I need to see. I'm not going to waste my time. And I said, he's got enough equipment. He's got enough. But then he, as soon as I cut off the sex, because I start seeing him getting tender and being unprofessional, he wasn't as good of a businessman as I thought he was. So I said, let's cut off the sex because you want me to overlook things because we're sleeping with each other that I can't overlook as a businesswoman. And I'm the registered agent, so it's my job to solidify the back end of the business. That's my job. And then he circled back with Natasha and found him a simp. And I remember that one of the last things I told her as I cussed them out in text, because she wouldn't answer my call after she wouldn't look me in my face sitting next to me after they had already changed all of our business passwords and stuff, most of which I created. So when I found out what they had done, I was sitting right next to her. And I tell y'all, she's looking down like this. Wouldn't look up at me at all. And I'm looking at her like, bitch. But we're in a county meeting, so I can't cut up in front of these good white folks. And I just got my stuff, quietly got my things, walked out, called Andrew, and I lit that parking lot up. And she wouldn't answer her phone after that. I was blowing her ass up. I haven't heard a word from Natasha, not even for her to gloat, not for her to apologize, nothing. She wouldn't respond to emails, not even emails with my attorney attached. She let Andrew do everything because she's a scary ass bitch and she could never address me after what she did. And I remember telling Andrew and her in a group message, please put your dick down her throat. Nothing, not even having you do this and choose her, because that's how she saw it. Big Daddy chose her over me. She started calling him Big Daddy Andrew when we started fucking. But please give her some dick. Please give her some dick. That's all she needs. And he wouldn't give her that. He used to say she's ugly. He would never touch her. But anyways, so that's what I learned from having my 7th house in Scorpio and those placements, and what I learned from the traumatic experiences. I don't even know how we got on here. I'm rambling because I needed to waste time till 3 o'clock. So thank y'all for helping me get through this open house. So fucking thirsty. And I know it made her seethe, because the first night that him and I did Whoopi, that night that we celebrated our partnership, I made him get us a suite in the town that he lives in, Orlando. I made him get us a suite so that she can sleep in one room, and we can, because when he told me he broke up with that girl and he sent me the text, that's all I needed. I knew I was going to give him some vagina. I knew it. So I made him get us a suite so that we could have a separate room and Natasha could be separate. But what had happened was I got him really drunk at the restaurant. He can't drink like me. None of them could drink like me. And so I got him 2 cocktails and he was all woozy and stuff. And then we got to the room and I had another bottle. And as soon as he got in, I fixed him a drink and he stumbled on the couch. And, without going in all the details, we start, fooling around. And I'll say that he had his mouth on my lady parts on my chest. And Natasha came out of the room and caught us. And it was a funny thing. We laughed about it afterwards for months. But I know it bothered her. I know it did. I know I did. Because she was so invested in our situation after that. So invested. And when him and I would bump heads, she'd say things like, can I call him and say something about him about this? Because I don't like when he makes you up. And I used to be like, no, you can mind your business. Why do you want to call him, our business partner, about our personal stuff? And why do you want to do it on my behalf? It was just so weird. It hurt her bad. It hurt her when we first met at our business meeting. Because for one, he wanted her to be his main business partner. He was only looking for one. She passed him up because she said, I don't want to own my own brokerage. That's too much responsibility. I'm not a business person. Then he contacted me and I said, okay. She looked him up on Facebook and saw what he looked like. Then she was like, I want to come. So I actually told him, hey, why don't you consider having a third partner? So she wasn't supposed to be the part of the equation. It was supposed to be him and I, because nobody believed in him except for me. He had asked a few people. When I got on board, she wanted to do it because she said, I believe in you as a businesswoman. We were friends. I introduced them. So when she saw what he looked like on Facebook, she wanted to come to our meeting as well. I didn't think he was that attractive from his picture because he was so light-skinned. He was so bright. So I was just like, you think he cute? He's just so bright. All right. And then when we got at the meeting, I wasn't paying him attention like that, but he was, I will say that there was a time that I got up to walk to the restroom and I felt a little awkward because he watched me the whole way. And then after we left, she was like, girl, it wasn't nothing on that menu that he wanted more than you. She said, did you not see him eyeballing you the whole time? She said, that man wants you. I was like, I wasn't really paying attention, but sure. And he did. He absolutely did. But I was like, well, when he did kind of step and make his claim, I said, I don't know about this because Natasha really, 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 really likes you. She has a really big crush on you, and this is going to be awkward. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. I would never. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about her or her feelings. She don't have to know. He wanted me to keep it a secret from her for our entire partnership. I said, that's my best friend, and I know how much she likes you, so I'm going to tell her. And when I decided that I might take him up on his offer as for partners with benefits, I ran it past her, not for permission, but I was like, listen, I just want you to know that he does like me the way you said he did. And now I didn't feel any way because she only had a crush on him. And she didn't have a chance. So I just wanted her to know because he wanted me to keep it a secret, and I consider her my friend, and I thought that it would really hurt her to find out that we were screwing one day and she liked him so much. So she was like, oh, no, I knew he liked you. She knew he did, but I know it hurt her. I don't see why it would have, because we were never same. But, and she was seething on it. She really, really, really was seething. He would tell me about how she would talk to him and dote on me so adoringly. She would do that with everybody. And that was my first red flag with her, was how much she obsessed over me, because it was a little bit unrealistic. And I should have seen it for envy. But yeah. Yeah. So here we are. All right, what y'all talking about in the chat? Just blocked the troll in the middle of trying to insult me and my coat. Talking about my coat looked like from 1999. I was born in 1987. I don't give a fuck. And all you hoes is trying to do stuff from the 90s these days. Why would I take anything a troll says as an insult when I look like this? And I smell like this. Let me get up so the trolls, you know, I got to stunt a little bit. Coat given 1999, but you know what? Body is giving tease. Look, tease. Coat 1999, face card 1987, and you can't fuck with either one of them. I'm talking about now one of them. You can't fuck with the face, you can't fuck with the fit, the coat, the body. You can't fuck with my car, my house. I don't know you to say if you can fuck with my bank account, but everything about me is vintage. I'm vintage, so it's okay if my coat from 99, I'm from 87. It's okay. And here we are in 2026, and you can't do fuck nothing with none of it. Look, face card, very much valid. You see my face and my skin, bitch? Look, I always have to point out to y'all what my skin look like. Look at that. Look how just elasticity. Just, bitch, please. Is it paneling? This house was built in 1991 and it's for sale. I'm at an open house. If you don't have $725,000, you can't talk to me about nothing in this house. Okay? You need 725 to be concerned about paneling in this house, my dear. All 2.97 acres of it, 2 stories of it, brick house. You worry about the wrong motherfucking things. Talking about some paneling in a house that I know you can't afford. It's for sale, but I know you can't afford it. Y'all always make me stun on y'all. Let me give y'all another house tour. This is the first living room. It's where all the magic happened. It's where we used to watch Cosby as kids when we spent the night over here. Because this was my pastor uncle, the one who wanted to be very, very much like the Huxtables. Formal dining. This is where the monsters live under the stairs. And yes, I'm not only selling this house, but this is my relative's house. You want to talk about some wood paneling? Can you afford to help your family establish wealth for themselves? Huh? Can you not only sit here and watch your family build this house in 1991 when I was just but a little girl, but then years later as an adult, turn it around and sell it for them for almost $1 million? You know how honored I am to do this for my family? And you know what they told me? Don't cut no corners on your commission. Charge us your highest. Charge us the full 6 or 7%. Don't give us no discount. You know what 6% of 725,000 is? That's just on one lick. You know, I got another family, another relative just built a quadruplex, and I'm putting them on the market too. You know what the estimated point of sale for those are together? That whole quad? $1 million is what he's gonna get off selling that quadruplex. Each duplex, $500,000. Imagine my commission on that too. No, I get 6% of my commission. I'm 100% at my brokerage, meaning I don't give them a split, my dear. Don't worry about my commission. You don't negotiate like me. I'm the woo lady. I'm 100% commission. Tell my AJ Wine, you want me to be broke so bad? No, the company will not take some from nothing. The company will take the $500 transaction fee that I give them, but I am at 100% commission, meaning I keep it, bitch. The fuck y'all mean? What I look like being the woo lady and giving somebody a cut of my hard-earned work? I'm not you. Oh, you don't want me to be broke? Do I look broke? Let me get you up out of here. Anybody else wondering? Because I told y'all to do a math and you did. And then you got up in my comments seething. You did the math and then came up in here talking about it's 6%, but you probably won't get. No, I probably will. I don't split shit with my brokerage. come get you some woo. BeyondTheVeil@gmail.com. Maybe I can help you have some favor in your life to where you the head and not the tail. It's Saturday. So this your day off. You worrying about my commission. You must have calculated my commission and seen that it was your yearly salary for a couple months of work. This house, God got my back, is on the market for $725,000. I have a new listing that is getting ready to come to the market. It is 2 duplexes, meaning 4 units, a quadruplex. Each duplex will be priced at about $500,000. That means together. No, this is a 2-story, 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house on 2.97 acres. God got my back. You're trolling. Do not ask me any questions about this house unless you are interested in buying it. And if you still ask me questions, please send your proof of funds to wealthwithadina@gmail.com. Thank you, Liv. I got that other listing right after the Crown of Success that we just did. My cousin, I saw him at the funeral, and he said, "Cuz, go ahead, send me them documents so we can get this listing agreement. I'm ready to put them on the market." So yes, it pays being the family realtor, the only one in the family. So anytime anybody make moves, they call me. And a lot of people in my family own their homes and are in the position to invest in real estate. So I have a couple of other relatives, cousins that wanted to get together and purchase a large a large piece of property, and I've been working with them for a while to find them the right piece of land to invest in for some months now. But as soon as I find the right piece, we'll go ahead and move forward with that too. Can you see upstairs? Sure, Tariq. I'll take you right on up. I showed you guys in the beginning of this video, but you guys just got here. So yes, I'll take you upstairs. Okay. All right. Upstairs bathroom. They put this garden tub, spa tub in here not too long ago. Master bedroom. It's pretty big. Master bath. Tub. Shower behind the corner there. Double doors. Walk-in closet. It's still owner occupied, so their stuff is still here. This is the bedroom. So that's the master 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 bedrooms. Okay, you guys, excuse me as I go back down the stairs. I need to brace myself because I'm in these high-ass heels. Whew, and I get a little delirious. coming down steps. All right. This is the formal living room here. This is an office or spare bedroom if you like. Downstairs bathroom, shower, all that good stuff. We'll go into the garage. We got a lot of their stuff boxed up and packed up already out here, so it's gonna look a mess, but most garages do. Garage door. Yep. Most of this is gonna be trash, and some of it is going with them, but like I said, they've been here since 91. So it's that living room. And I'll even take you guys outside. This wind is gonna kill my hair, but now, acre of this property is cleared. The remaining 1.97 is not. This house is west facing. As you can see, that's the sun. It will set right here. It'll set right there. So the house faces the sunset. That's one of the things that I actually love about this house. And I live about 3 houses down the street, walking distance. So, sunset right at your front door. This is we call this the big house in our family. Hey, sissy. I'll go around. Whew. We used to rake leaves and jump in the pile all up in here. As you can see, it's still tons of leaves. So this tree here used to be our. Whew. So the rest of the property is back there. That's the 1.97 acres. It's uncleared, obviously, which means you'd have to come and clear it. And it backs up to a gated community, 55 plus gated community. You can kind of see some of their property there. But yes, all that back there is yours for another 1.97 acres, almost 2 acres. Woo! That is called 60th Ave, 40 with Highway 27. Those are 2 major roads, state highways here in Central Florida, 27 and 40. Whew. This street here, like I said, this street connects both of those. This street connects, 27 is that way, 40 is that way. The airport is straight down the street. So it's a one-stop shop on this road to the airport. You just go straight down. They call this Airport Road because of that. Airport down there, as well as the World Equestrian Center and I-75. Whew, child. Whew, child, excuse me, I got to. Whew. All right. Whew, child. All right. Thank you, sissy. Okay. I got 32 more minutes. I'm here till 3. So thank y'all for keeping me company. I look rich, ain't it, sissy? Yes. Y'all like this look? I'm gonna show y'all off again because I've been showing the. Hold on. Oh. Gotta show y'all my boots. The glove, honey. Yes, with the fur. Thank y'all. I'm gonna take these shoes off soon as I get in the car. I got my house shoes. I should go get them right now and put them on right now. I've been in these boots since 10:30. I had to go to the Publix, get them balloons blown up. I had to put them signs and stuff in the yard, and I did that in my boots because there's too many people riding around, and I'm not finna advertise this expensive house in my house shoes. I look like a y'all bougie cousin. Fun fact, I am the bourgeoisie cousin in the family. Not the one that's stuck up, though. Everybody loves me. But sorry, my mama was trying to call me, and I usually have do not disturb on here. Tariq, you about to get let me just get you up out of here. Tell me, do you think they'll accept a $400,000 cash offer? Fun fact, in real estate, she won't leave me alone. She thinks she my best friend. She really does. She said that I'm her best friend, but I don't want to be that. I have so many it's just like because she's been protected from seeing the damage, the toxicity that she caused, and because we're gracious and honor and respect her because she's our mother. But I do not want to be your friend. I don't want to be, I don't. I'm sorry. And she always be all over me. She said just other month she said I'm the most disrespectful of her children, but she stay up under me. She stay on my line. She always want me to cook. Her other kids, they ain't gonna cook for her. They ain't gonna come see child. She's so aggy. And then before she called y'all, she was texting me about some ribs. That's what she calling me for. Food. But yeah, I am the kind of bougie cousin or the one they expect to show up looking like what I look like today. Not because I'm like stuck up, but yesterday when I met my two cousins for dinner and drinks, they was like, "Oh, you look cute. You definitely look like Mocha." So yes, I always gave rich auntie vibes, even as a child. Always step. That's what Libras do. And I don't want to look like the broke auntie. Thank you. Thank you, sissy. I love you guys too. I'm the person that everybody loves to love and hate. I'm very polarizing. It's my mom, she don't know which one to do. She don't know which one to do, and it really probably just depends on her mood and the day of the week. It's Saturday. She probably got some money, so she feeling good. She want to hang a little bit. I think she felt the way because I went out with my cousins, and my mom has FOMO. She don't like to be left out of nothing because my mom was the fun auntie. She's the baby of her siblings. So she was the young, fly, fun auntie that everybody came to know, the T brand. And she has the issue when all of her nieces and nephews get together and she not invited. And we trying to help her get acclimated to you is not our peer. You is in your 60s. It was cute when you were younger and we were younger because, we was too young to hang. But now we is the aunties and uncles. We don't want you there all the time. We want to do stuff with our friends without you. So she FaceTimed me yesterday and seen me dressed up, getting ready to go. Where you going? I said on a date. She said with Talia, because she know I ain't got no man. I said yes. Well, at least you get invited places. Bye. Goodbye. Because where's your peers? Where is your old ass friends? Her problem is she never really made friends. My mom is not a girl's girl. She's not. She's never had friends like that. Her friends have always been her family. My Aunt Val, her brothers, and her nieces and nephews. She used to club with one of my older first cousins. So she never really had female friends like that. And she has one now, but it's just one. It's just one. And she's not, don't nobody, don't, she need to find some fucking friends, Aquarius. She an Aquarius too, but she got an Aquarius stellium. And her problem is she doesn't see herself. She's not self-aware. So she doesn't change. And she can be very off-putting, but she don't know how to read the room. She don't know how to see herself. And if you say something about it, it's almost like she just does not hear it. She'll hear it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's your opinion and not hers. So it's not real since it's not her opinion. It's just not real. And she'll forget. She So as we get older and as we understand toxicity, because we're not kids anymore and people are older, don't nobody want to put up with certain stuff no more. And so everybody's outgrown her, but she hasn't grown. So she needs some fucking friends. I'm always looking for a man for her, but she can't keep one. Now she says she all right. She don't think that she gonna have a man anymore. I could have told her that. I read it. I read to see if she was gonna have another man, and she won't. But oh my God, if she did, it would be such a big help. Because she gets so jealous and she hate to see me living my life. It's only me though. No, she feel away when my sisters do stuff too because they do family stuff with the kids and they don't invite her. She the grandma and she want to be invited on the family outings and stuff too, but they don't be with that. They don't have time for my mama, and she know I will. I have time for all her shenanigans and all the bull, because that's what firstborns do. They do their duties. So that's why she always on my nuts, even though I probably am the one that needs the most space from her. But I'm the most healed. So I can deal with her and be all right. My sisters can't. They're not healed and they don't know that they need to. So they kind of keep their distance, but they don't acknowledge the fact that they keep their distance and they don't acknowledge the fact of why. I can deal with her because I don't get triggered no more. No, it's not too prying. If it was, I wouldn't have talked about it. I ain't telling y'all no realty. I ain't telling y'all her deepest, darkest secrets. But that's the reality of it. Shit. That's the reality of me and my life. Do I ever want kids or am I okay with not having any if it was a personal choice? It wasn't a personal choice, so to speak. My husband and I had a miscarriage, and I found out then that I would have been high risk my entire pregnancy because I found out then that I had PCOS. I had a miscarriage at 10 weeks. I had to get a DNC. They had to scrape my tubes. And for me, that was traumatic because being a mother was everything to me. It was everything. When I found out I was pregnant, at that moment, it was the biggest accomplishment of my life and the moment that I dreamed of. I was married and so it felt like, it was so traumatic because it felt like an abortion. And I was so traumatized that when because I also found out that I had PCOS, I honestly felt like I would probably have another abortion if I tried. So I decided to wait. I got back on birth control and I was like, I'm going to wait to see if we can, find a way around or to find a way around the PCOS. I don't know if I thought it would go away one day, but I think I just decided to wait. I just knew I was too traumatized to go through that again and to find out that I had that fertility issue. It was too much. And the waiting just didn't stop. We just never consciously tried again. I didn't get off of birth control because life started lifing. We got busy. I start to have a career. I gained a career in HR. He, had his adult job, his first adult job, and then we start lifing and adulting. We had a house, a boat. We wanted to do things, so we kind of just start putting other goals in front of ourselves, and then before we can start thinking about it again, things just start taking a downturn. Here I am at 38. I am divorced and I'm not even in another relationship. So I don't think about being a mother because I'm not even in a position to, start a family. I don't have a father for a child. I'm not dating anyone. I'm not sexually active right now. So I don't think about kids because I ain't even making whoopee. And I will be 39 this year. So I will say that, child, that's something that I don't think about at all. I don't think about having kids because I don't live that reality right now. I'm not the family Dina. I'm not in my family girl era. I'll probably end up in another one because listen, do you see this? But by then, kids will be out of the picture. So I don't see myself having kids. If I were to get pregnant, it'd probably be in my 40s. And that would be weird for me. Just for me and my lifestyle, that would be weird for me. I would be a spectacular mother. I know I would. But at this stage of my life, when I think about where I am now and what my future looks like, I ain't got time for that. You see me having kids in my 40s? Sissy, go to sleep. Just close your eyes. Just take a nap so you don't see shit. I can't imagine fitting that into my life now when my plans for my life, my life is planned. I ain't saying it's not doable. I'm not saying I'm not fertile enough to do it. I'm not saying that women shouldn't. I'm saying, Adina, girl, but I didn't ask you to manifest it for me. Don't do witchcraft now, because don't manifest things outside of my will to choose. Girl, where would I fit that into my 10 and 20-year goal? Bitch, I have the rest of my life until my death planned out. I didn't put kids in there because when I started doing my family planning, it was as a divorcee with not a man on my line. I ain't even got no phone pal. I don't even have a text buddy. No one calls me but my mother and my cousin Talia. No one. In business. I ain't even got no phone friend. And you trying to fit kids in my life? Girl. Why would you want that from me? You know what I want to become one day? A multi-millionaire. Manifest that. Manifest that I give birth to $1 million or $2 million within the next 1 or 2 years. Manifest that I become a mother to millions. Girl, you better consult with me before you start manifesting on my behalf, before I smite thee with thine own words and you become pregnant before I do. Why do you want to see me like that? No, I am not locked down. I can do my thing. I am not locked down. So tell me, what's your name? No, I am not locked down. You know, that's a song. And I'm getting grown. I am not locked down. So we can get it on. No, I am not locked down. You mean a stepmother? I would be a fabulous bonus mom. Fabulous. Fabulous bonus mom. Now that I can do. That I can do. Bonus mom, me. I'll date a man with kids. He can't have a whole lot of baby mamas, but he can have kids. Absolutely. Because if you got them, you ain't going to be looking at me to start a family. So you can come with kids. Yes, I would be the same way I'm a fabulous aunt, I would be a fabulous Kimmy. I'm gonna pivot from her. I'm about to block her. She don't even know I'm about to block her. I ain't never been so insulted in my life talking about girl. I would prefer to be a stepmother at this stage in my life. Come to me with kids already. And I'll fit in. I'll work great with their mama. I ain't gonna overstep my boundaries. I'm gonna love them down. I'm gonna treat them just like I'm gonna treat them like they're yours, but I'm gonna love them like they my family too, my own flesh and blood. And I'm gonna make sure that it's my job and my goal too to give them the best life possible. I'm gonna treat them right, but they can be from somebody else's womb, and I can be the fabulous rich bonus mom. Girl, sissy, you better tell me. You better tell me, because don't play with me like that. Bonus mommy. Yes, I don't mind a man with children. But don't necessarily come looking to me because you want to start a family with me. That's why I can't date young men, because they ready to start families. And Auntie will be 39 this year, and I'll be busy. And I like my kind of busy. My kind of business makes me money. My kind of busy makes me money. It doesn't make me tired without making me money. Doesn't make me angry. Doesn't make me gain or lose weight. Doesn't make me more stressed out than I am. I don't even want to be in the position to discipline kids because I'm too soft for that. So I actually might not have made a good mother, because discipline, I would have been the queen of gentle parenting before it began. Oh, somebody's here. Gotta go. Hey.